I drove 12 hours to pick up this car. And the reason why I drove 12 hours to pick up this car is not because it's the most beautiful car in the world, not because this incredible bodywork here on the hood and this amazing falling off molding. No, the reason why I went and looked at this car is because when I asked the owner about it through Facebook Marketplace and I asked him to send me pictures of it, he sent me some very interesting pictures that really grabbed my attention. Now, when he listed this car as a 429 with a 351 Windsor intake manifold. Now, if you're a Ford guy, you're probably pulling your hair out even hearing me say that, right? Because no such thing exists. You can't put a Windsor intake on a 429. But the picture that he sent me was of this engine sitting in this car, and I noticed something very unique and very special. The very thing that stood out to me was on the passenger and driver side, these exhaust manifolds that he took pictures of, they came up as 428 Cobra jet only. That's right. Underneath of this hood, those exhaust manifolds are 428 Cobra jet only, which really got my interest. I'm thinking to myself, this car's not a 429. What is this thing? What's going on here? I don't know a whole lot about a 69 Cyclone. I know Mustangs. I can tell you about Boss 9s. I can tell you about G-Code, Boss 302s. I can tell you all that. But Mercury Cyclones, no, not really my thing, right? Then he sends me another picture, and the car has a 4-speed transmission in it, a bench seat 4-speed transmission, still in the car, still there, transmission still there. So I start doing some digging, and of course, guess what I run across? I run across, in 1970, Cale Yarborough. He makes the pole lap for the Daytona 500 at 194 miles per hour in a 69 Cyclone, making this car a super popular car of the day. Now, Cale's car had a Boss 429 in it, and the straightaway lap in the back, he did 225 miles per hour, beating, listen to me now, beating the Daytona, the 426 Hemis of that day. He actually took him out with the lap. So this car became super popular, super desirable. But again, Cale's car was a Boss 429. This car, however, really grabbed my attention when I saw those 428 Cobra jet manifolds. I saw the 4-speed transmission. So I start doing a little bit of digging and I start looking into things because I'm trying to figure out what is going on with this car. Why is this car so unique? So I asked the owner of the vehicle, I said, hey, can you send me a video or can you send me a picture of the VIN number of, and he's like, no, I'm not sending you the VIN number. I don't want to do that. I'm super uncomfortable with that. I said, okay, cool. How about this? What is the 5th digit of the VIN? And so he sends me the 5th digit of the VIN, and guess what it is? It's an R. It's a 428 Cobra jet, R code. This is supposed to be a Ram Air car with a scoop on the roof. This is an R code 428 CJ, 4-speed close ratio, 350 traction lock, 69, not just a Cyclone, but a Cyclone CJ. A Cyclone, this is a real Cyclone CJ. And the Cyclone CJs, listen, they only made a little over 600 of them in a 428 Cobra jet 4-speed. And out of all of those numbers, I just got the Marty report on this car, which you can order. You can order for the old Fords. You can order Kevin Marty's report on your car by your VIN number. And come to find out, this car, check this out, this car is only one of 13 in these color codes and trim options. Now here's what I need to figure out, right? A couple things that gave this car away from me. Look, the hood pins are still on it. The car's got the blacked out grille. It's got the hole in the hood for where it should have the Ram Air system and the scoop. But the question now becomes, is the engine the factory motor? Is this really a 428 CJ still in the car, or is it something else? Let's find out. That webbing there tells me that it is indeed an FE motor for sure, but it's also a reinforced motor. Now, there are two different versions of this webbing. There's actually this webbing, and then there's a reinforced webbing with a bar that runs through here. I'll tell you a little bit about more of that in just a second. Let's take a look at the engine number on the block. So this casting number, this C6ME casting number, very common number for the big block webbed blocks, very common block used for 390, 427, and 428. This is the casting number. This isn't the Ford part number. So we want to make sure that just in case your block has a C6ME-A, it doesn't mean automatically it's a 428, a 427, or a 390. What's really going to tell us is either there's going to be that big C on the back of the block, which we're probably not going to pull the motor, but what will really tell us is if the crankshaft has a 1U or a 2U on it. And we're going to look at that right now. And here comes the big reveal. Is this the original engine? Sadly, This is a 1967 Mustang 390 GT. This is a 2U, as you can see here on the crank. This is a 390. So the engine in the car is still a very desirable engine, and it does have the 428 Cobra Jet cylinder heads on it. Sadly, it is not the original 428. However, if you look back here, you will see the beauty of this 4-speed still in this car. So here's what we know about our little 428 Cobra Jet beauty sitting back behind us. We know that, unfortunately, the engine block is a 390 GT block. Still a great block, but not the Cobra Jet motor that we were hoping would be under the hood. However, it's still only one of 13 ever built. How can you complain? All of this because I paid attention to a Facebook Marketplace ad. And I'm going to tell you, if you're looking for classic cars, you have to pay attention to the details. Can't always go by what somebody says. Even though they've owned the car almost their entire life, you cannot go by what the owner says about the car. You have to do your homework, you have to do your research, you have to inspect for yourself. And when you do that, you end up with one of only 13 69 Mercury Cyclone CJ 428 Cobra Jet 4-speed, close ratio, top loader, 350 traction lock, maroon bench seat car. Thanks for joining me here at Lost and Found. I hope you guys will subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends, check out Facebook, check out Instagram at Lost and Found Classics. And like I said, until next time, let's find some more fun. Take care, guys.